Our next witness is Anthony Riley from Ohio Cannabis Live. Welcome to committee. Please proceed when you're ready.
All right. Hello, everyone. Good morning. Thank you, everyone, for being here. I just want to thank the committee for allowing me to testify. I thank all of y'all for putting up with us, listening to us. And after listening to all that, I think we've already started off this hearing much better than the last one I attended, with us all having a conversation. So, again, I'm going to go ahead and read my testimony. I aim to just keep it to about 5 minutes. So if there's questions, I'll be happy to take those at the end. Again, hello, everyone. Thank you for allowing me to testify. My name is Anthony D. Riley. I'm the founder of Ohio Cannabis Live and the Ohio Cannabis Expo. I'm a disabled small business owner, and I'm a traumatic brain injury survivor and a longtime advocate for Ohio's cannabis community. My mission is to unite us, all of us, find common ground, and strengthen Ohio's legal cannabis program and the community. I'm here to testify in opposition to House Bill 160. Let me outline the main reasons why I oppose this bill. Number one, new penalties for cannabis transportation. These penalties will frustrate voters and continue to push consumers towards, I dare say it, Michigan. I know that's a bad word in here, but we need to say it out loud and stop ignoring it. Where affordable quality products are so-called available. I don't know if I agree with that. Something Ohio struggles to provide right now for various reasons we'll get into later. Number two, employment restrictions. This bill could block people from unemployment benefits. I don't think that Ohio voters want a new situation where they could lose the opportunity to be able to be eligible for unemployment benefits just for being terminated from their job for some type of cannabis-related job-related. I do understand about workplace safety, and I respect that 100%. And I think that if we look at Amazon, for example, one of the largest companies in the world, they dropped their cannabis policy completely, and they seem to be operating in the state of Ohio just fine. And they're opening more locations, and more drivers are being hired. So I don't think there's an issue with employment that we need to tackle. I haven't heard anyone testify for that. Talking about housing, number three, landlord eviction powers. Allowing landlords to evict tenants over cannabis use risk creating an even bigger housing crisis that Ohio already faces right now. Even in Columbus, we are struggling to find places to build housing, much less why would we want to create a new complication in housing? And this could permanently damage a young person's rental record. Once you get an eviction on your record, it stays on there for years. Many of you already know this. So if someone young were to get in trouble at their college dorm apartment near campus or somewhere else, and the landlord makes it a cannabis issue and evicts them, then this is on their record. This now complicates their ability to relocate somewhere else, not just in Ohio, but anywhere in the country. And I think that's something that the committee should definitely consider. Restrictions on sharing and use. If people can't consume at home because they don't own their house, they're a renter, where do they go? We don't have any consumption facilities available. There's nowhere people feel like there's a designated cannabis consumption place. We obviously all have concerns about using a bar. I know that's something that does happen because where else have we thought about this? We haven't. So I think we need to be looking at consumption parks, consumption lounges, somewhere that is safe, away from children, away from schools, away from churches, away from anything else that could be an issue with the legislator. And allowing these places to be regulated properly, ID checked, security there, law enforcement there, whatever you like. But I do think we need to figure out where cannabis consumers will be able to host events and things of that nature, because this is going to be a huge tourist opportunity that I think the state of Ohio and this committee is overlooking. We could be making way more money than we are now if we start thinking tourism. All these other states around us who have wacky cannabis laws, they're running over here and finding out this stuff's very expensive, and the rules here are so confusing that on a weekly basis, nobody knows how many plants they can grow. Joints definitely don't grow on trees. I grow cannabis myself, and I'm gonna tell you, it's very stressful, it's very complicated when you are a medical patient. I'm suffering from chronic pancreatitis. I suffer from severe pain. I'm on my 13th hospital mission. I literally told my doctors that I wasn't going to the hospital because I had to come here and testify for the people who couldn't be here, that this bill, we need to work together. And I've heard great things. I've heard a lot from the gentleman. He's done a lot of work. I know he has. And thank you again, Mr. Calendar, and all of you for trying to ask the right questions to figure out how we can come together. But we definitely need to come together. I'm having a town hall today at the library around the corner at the Columbus Metropolitan Library and the auditorium. It's at 4:30. It's not far from here. But I would love to see any of y'all there, just to listen to some of the other people who are suffering from severe pain, people who have found relief in using medical cannabis and quit using opiates, people who are now thinking about quitting drinking and now drinking hemp drinks. Is that the new craze now? We could now see a decline in drunk driving. We could now see a decline in domestic violence. We could see all kinds of things change. And Ohio could be the innovator of all these things instead of us constantly losing to them up north. It's time for Ohio to win, not only in sports, but also in cannabis. We cannot keep letting everybody go to the mega mall in Michigan just 30 minutes into the state line. Why don't we have a mega mall here?
Mr. Riley, I'm sorry to interrupt, but you have one more minute.
That's fine. All right. So again, I'll get to the point that y'all want to hear. What are suggestions? Because I heard we need suggestions. We don't need just complaints. We need solutions. So right now, advertising fairness, smoke shops, hemp shops currently advertising that they are some type of dispensary with no card needed. We definitely need to put something in this bill that prevents this happening. This is a confusion. I don't understand how someone could have a billboard on 23 advertising they are a dispensary when an actual licensed dispensary on 23 actually cannot have a billboard. I do have an example, if you would like that emailed to you, of that billboard that is advertising that they are a dispensary and they are only a smoke shop. I would love to know how that can work. Hemp product regulations, hemp drinks, as they seem popular now, if you're going to sell them in these other places, as I've heard, we need to ensure that there is proper education for employees about the benefits, the risks, and other things related to cannabis and hemp. Homegrown rights, we need to advocate to keep the count the same. I've heard some concerns about yields. And
Mr. Riley,
yes,
sorry to interrupt. Your time has expired.
oh, okay, all right, that's fine.
Are there any questions from the committee? Representative Calendar with the question.
Yeah, as I said, I'll just kind of consider my hand raised most of the time. I want to thank you for coming and thank you for your advocacy over the years. I see a number of people in the room that have been very on this. And also want to thank you for your compliment as to this committee and this bill and this procedure compared to others. I think you've got a room full of thoughtful people, and I think on both sides. And I think that's going to help us lead to some potential solutions.
Yes, sir.
I brought something with me today I'd like to share with the committee, while it's still legal to share, that I ran across the other day, and apparently under this bill I'd be a felon grabbing this in my pocket. But this is to show that there is some common ground. Have you seen something like this? This is Hawaiian Punch, it says, and I'm a trademark lawyer, and it's clearly a violation of trademark. It literally is the Hawaiian Punch logo.
Right.
1,000 milligrams of THC, 96.1% THC, 0.54% CBD. No ID required to purchase, no ID required to go into the location. And I guess one of my questions for you, since you brought it up with the clearly erroneous and incorrect advertising, is there anybody in this room, and I'm going to ask the advocates a question and the members, that thinks this is okay? You think this is okay?
Could you tell me what kind of THCA that is?
No, because it's not labeled. It just says THC.
It would be a simple way to fix that.
But that gets to the whole point of labeling, right?
Correct.
So is there anybody that thinks this is okay?
Where did you purchase it from?
Someplace in Ohio, I'm not going to out them because they're in my
What
district, but
type of stores?
it was clearly not a dispensary.
Okay, no, that's.
So my question to you is, and to all the advocates, I think, is can we help stress the common ground we have here and the things that we need to look at? Because we need, you'll have your chance to testify, I'm sure. That's up to the chair to regulate. And he's been generous to let me go further than he should have.
Excuse me, Mr. Chair, may I
So
respond?
thank you. But I wanted to, at some point, bring this out as the common ground that we all have. We don't want children having access. We don't want false labeling. We don't want really no labeling. We don't write outrageous claims like that you're a dispensary when you're not, or that it's THC without labeling what that means exactly, because we all know there's a lot of things that can be, that we, and I find the claim dubious as to the actual content. But I think I just mainly wanted to thank you for coming in and agreeing that there is common ground and things in this bill that are good, and that let's build on those commonalities and see if we can limit the bill to those.
Chair, through to Mr. Counter, Representative Counter, thank you again for your kind words, sir. And to directly respond to the packaging that you said, I do agree that this has really gotten out of hand, that we don't have any way to do some type of compliance with these products that are being sold outside of dispensaries. And again, this leads to the division we have in the hemp and cannabis industry right now, and all the confusion about what exactly is legal and what's not. So again, thank you for bringing an example. I wish I would have had the courage to pull something like that out, but of course you here and you could do that. I don't want to get escorted out here by State Highway Patrol, so I would not do that. But thank you for bringing that to us, showing us that these things, we need to address this. There is urgency in getting something done together, and that's why I'm hoping that we can work together.
Great. Representative Mohammed with a question.
Thank you very much, Chair. Not really a question, but more so a comment. Thank you, Mr. Wiley, for your testimony. Thank you for your advocacy. Thank you for coming with everything that you're dealing with. For you to be here and advocate for the folks means a lot to the people. And I will definitely be at the town hall, and I urge members of this committee and others to also show up and actually speak to the voters and hear what you're dealing with and what your interests are, because ultimately I think we're losing sight of that. So thank you very much.
Thank you. And I will not let anyone get yelled at. I don't do that. Thank you.